Hello everybody, welcome to another edition of Board Game School's series on Magic Realm in Realm Speak. Today's episode is going to be focused on the subject of combat and combat alone. I'm going to play a game in Realm Speak that I've already set up here, playing 4 characters at the same time. We're going to mainly be using warriors without any magic users, as I believe the next video will focusing on the subject of magic and how that mechanic and system works in Magic Realm. So in this game, what we're going to do, I'm going to add some characters here. I'm going to add 4 characters from the original 16. We're going to add the Amazon, who's a great all-around character. The Berzerker. This guy's a lot of fun. He has a specific chit here that lets him go berserk, which changes his vulnerability to tremendous. So this guy can be quite fun hacking away at the biggest monsters that are in the game. The W.Knight. This character's like a tank. He does not do very well with the smaller, faster monsters, other than he has a suit of armor that he starts with, which helps him brush off a lot of the smaller hits, but since he's slower, getting attacked by a lot of smaller monsters can slowly whittle him away. So with him, we'll try to focus on the big, heavy, and tremendous monsters, because he has a sword and the kind of attack chits here that allow him to take them down. I guess we might touch on one thing on magic with this one, but he has a spell that's based on white magic. White magic is very rare in Magic Realm. Black and white magic are the rare magics. And he has this, he has a spell, Make Whole, which I like, which I'm going to use and make an example of how, a semi-example of how magic works. So we'll do that. We don't want to enchant magic chits, and I'll explain why for this character, why we're not, later. And one more, which is a popular character to learn on, actually, is the Woods Girl, because she's really versatile. She has fast move to get away from trouble, but she also has a great ability as an archer. So she is one die roll on the missile table instead of 2, which allows her the probability of her to hit and increase the damage level is a lot higher than having to roll 2 dice. So that's a great capability, a special advantage that she has. And she can start at the house or the inn. Try to standardize in here with the Woods Girl. I'm going to have her go for 2 great treasures, or actually 1 great treasure, 1 fame, 2 notoriety, and 1 gold. With fame you need 10, with notoriety you need 20, so 2 would be 40, so let me switch that. 1 notoriety and 2, so now it would be 20 fame and 20 notoriety, equal out. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make that the standard for all of them. We'll just see how they do. So 1, 0, 2, 1, 1. All right, first up I have the Amazon, and she's up here at the inn with the rogues, like I had mentioned in the tutorial 2. It's a standard way to start a lot of the characters. They're at the inn with other characters. We see the Berzerkers here with our Amazon. Up in the upper right, we have all the rogues in the inn. And now it's moved us down here to the knight. He's way down here in the chapel, and he's kind of the same character as these orders. He's a noble knight, and his magic is based on the white magic, which is around the chapel. You'll see here that in the colors it shows this white magic, and that's because the chapel itself is a source of white magic. And so if the knight wants to do his spell, this Make Whole, he has the type 1 magic chit, but he doesn't have he has the ability to enchant this white, but then you also need a matching type of magic to cast the spell. And so because he only has 1 type 1 magic chit, you don't enchant it at the beginning of the game, because you want to find a source of white magic to pair it with, and then you can cast the spell. So it's one of these things where if he gets damaged and he comes here to the chapel, he can actually then use the white magic at the chapel in combination with his type 1 magic chit, and then cast a spell on himself, and it will basically repair anything. So if all of these, some of these are red and yellow, instead of resting 4 each turn, you could come here, cast that spell, and they would all be refreshed. It's a pretty neat little capability, and is balanced by the fact that white magic is rare. Let's see, we've got our Berzerker here, and I'm not going to have him do a trade. I'm going to get him into the world here, move down here, and then hide. And last but not least is the Woods Girl. It's a great character to learn on because she's probably the most balanced character of all the original characters in the sense that she can take out pretty big monsters with her bow. If she's alerted and she gets a good missile roll, that raises the strength of her weapon. You can see here that it just is saying L because this bow at this point is just being used as like a striking weapon. But if you see here that when it's alerted, it has a heavy. It goes from light to medium to heavy, 2 sharpness stars, and a speed of 1, so that can pretty much hit anything, even really fast monsters, which is a great weapon for the Woods Girl to start with. And she also has 2 light 2 movements, chits, so she can run and get out of trouble really nicely. So we're going to move to the Cursed Valley, move to Cliff 5, and attempt to hide. We succeed, and now let's see what monsters show up. Probably gonna have to disable combat because I don't know which monsters show up here. Hit done. It looks like the only monsters that showed up were for the White Knight. Oh, we got the troll showed up in the Ruins Hex, but not in the same. It's a tremendous troll, so probably went to the Protect the Vault. So we have a battle here for our first battle of the game. This is actually a good battle for the White Knight, because while the tremendous giant, he can harm with his heavy 5, the White Knight also has the capability to deal with tremendous monsters. And so let's get into explaining combat a little bit more than we did before. So let's go into our capability chits here with the White Knight and look at the giant here. Okay, so in case you didn't watch the first 2 videos, or at least the second video, I'll go over these stats of the monster briefly, and I'll explain how they relate to the basically letters and numbers on the chits here for the White Knight, and also how that pertains to the White Knight's armor and the White Knight's weapon, which is the Great Sword. On the monster marker, there are 4 numbers you should pay attention to. The first one in the upper right here is its vulnerability level. Every character and monster in Denison has a vulnerability level. There are these letters, and they pertain the same from the vulnerability level as they do the attack strength, which is on the attack down here. There's 4 levels. There is light, which is the L, which you'll see some characters with L. There's the M, which you can see over here with the ghosts in the valley, that's medium. There's H, which is here for their attack and for the giant's attack, that's heavy. And then the highest level is T for tremendous. So I'm going to have that here. We'll have listed light, medium, heavy, and tremendous as levels of strength, and that has to do with a few different things in Magic Realm. Those levels pertain to your defense, your attack, and the weight of things that you can move. And we'll get into that a little bit more in a little bit. But so we know that this top upper right letter is the vulnerability. How tough is this character? How big of a hit does it need in order to kill it? The giant has the highest at tremendous. So the letter in the upper right pertains to the strength level of its vulnerability. And so the giant has the highest level, which is tremendous. You'll notice here, if I pull this over, that it has a yellow T, and if you go over here, this has a yellow M on the ghosts, which is medium vulnerability, tremendous vulnerability. And if you go down here to the order, you'll see that they have a T, but it's in this gray, and that means that this is armored. So this is an armor that's tremendous, which means you would need something 1 level above or with a sharpness star of tremendous to even break through the armor to even be able to hit the tremendous vulnerability. So this is another layer of protection on top of the vulnerability. So we'll see that in action as we start to do combat. The number on the lower right in the blue, this is the speed of the monster, its ability to avoid a hit from you. So if you're trying to hit it, if your speed is higher than the number here, and the numbers are always between 1 and 6, so he's on the slower side, 5, but not the slowest, which is a 6. So all attacks at a speed of 6, this giant would basically be able to dodge unless you intercepted him, and we'll get into intercept and undercut in a moment here. This number and letter over here on the lower left is like the vulnerability letters, this is the attack strength. So he has a heavy hit here, and he also has a club, which we'll see here in a moment. And his attack speed is 5. And so in order to get out of the way of his attack, we want a move that's equal as far as trying to not be intercepted, or lower than that, so we cannot get hit. If we are above that, he will hit us by default because he will beat us on speed. And so let's just take a look at this across the board here. What kind of attack does the W.Knight have? He doesn't have a lot of fast chits here. He's got a heavy 4, a heavy 5, heavy 5, heavy 6, a tremendous 4, which is a really powerful hit, which you can see it's got the 2 asterisks for effort, and the tremendous 5, which is 1 asterisk, and then there's this magic here. So he's got 2 heavy 4s, 2 heavy 5s, 6, and 2 tremendous. And if we just look at this right across the board here, we can say we can hit him with any one of these, and we can hit that giant if we combine it with his great sword, which we'll look at the detail here. This is the great sword. It has a speed of 6 if it's not alerted, but if it's alerted, the speed is based on the speed of the attack chit, and it's got heavy with a sharpness star, which is tremendous, which is enough to kill the giant, which is what we want. So he can take out the giant. And if we also, if this is heavy, if we use a tremendous, it raises that heavy. You know, if you make a fight chit combined with a weapon, if the fight chit's strength is higher than the hit of the weapon, which we have a few tremendous ones, it'll raise that up. So this would be tremendous plus a sharpness star, so we could even hurt tremendous armored monsters with this sword when we combine them with the tremendous chits here, the tremendous fight chits. The good news is, too, is that we have a tremendous 4, which is faster than his speed of 5. And let's see what he does when he flips. He becomes 6, which is slower. He's got a faster attack, which is 4, which is deadly if he hits us. But we can guarantee kill him because this tremendous 4 is faster than him, which means we will get an undercut. And that is something that we should... that is something I want to describe now. Is the primary thing that you want to do when you're fighting monsters is you want to aim for undercut, because if you beat them on speed, you're going to guarantee a hit. And then at that point, if you have a tie, it's about the reach, which is the length of the weapon. And we can see here, I think, or maybe that's, is that the length? Hold on here. No, this is a length of 8 here. Okay, yeah, that's the speed when it's not alerted. And then here, this has a length of 8. So if we were to match speed and hit each other at the same time, the person with a longer weapon, and that's what this is here, although he has a club, we'll see in action here in a minute. The length will determine who gets the initiative to hit first if it came down to a tie. So let's see what happens here. I'm hidden, which is how we want to enter this combat, because it means we can have a shot at him before he even notices us and tries to take a shot back. So the first round will just be, can I hit him? And I'm going to try to hit him with that tremendous 4. And I'm going to play, I don't know, I can't. The sad thing is that when you use tremendous 4, it's 2 effort asterisks, and you can only use 2 per round. And so what may happen here is I can't use this H move to get out of the way, the 4 heavy, which would be faster than his hit. But we can still use this heavy 5, I guess, and we'd be able to dodge, at least try to dodge his heavy 5 hit. We have a heavy armor, but he could damage that with a heavy hit. So you can kind of start to say, hopefully you're starting to see how these things correlate to each other. So the heavy hit at 5 speed, if it were to line up here, if I'm not moving fast enough, he has to line up and he could hit my armor, which really covers all of these. And he could hit my armor and probably damage it. Not destroy it completely, but damage it. So let's see how we do here. We're not going to lure him. I'm going to try to alert my weapon, and you see here there's all these options to what chit are we spending to alert, and I'm going to try to spend this one without a effort asterisk. So I'm not spending effort alerting my weapon. And then I'm going to go to the next. Now he's not assigned. I'm going to select unassigned target, so I'm basically trying to get a hit in him before he hits me. And now we see his other attack here. This is the other chit that comes with the other marker that comes with the giant, where he has a club. And he's not going to be able to hit me because I'm basically jumping out from hiding to try to hit him. So this is, I don't have to put a maneuver here. This is the other chart, which allows me to take a strike at him before he strikes me. But you at least can see now his weapon has a reach of 8. And he's got a slower hit here, which is good, which means I could use even the no effort one as long as he doesn't line up here, if we were on the same page, which we're not now. So the only thing I'm doing now is I've assigned the target. In the assign phase, you can see I've assigned that there. I'm going to hit next, and we're going to, it shows us to take a maneuver here, but he's not on the sheet to attack me because he doesn't know. So I'm going to that sheet, which is by clicking from my sheet over to his sheet. And I'm going to take a hit out of him. Now, here's where the important detail comes in for combat, is the difference between intercept and undercut. When I try to attack him, it'll bring up my sword options. You can see here we're trying to beat this 5. We have 1, 2 that can beat him, that can beat 5 if he doesn't flip. If we use either of these, we should be able to undercut him, which means that there's 2 dice rolls that happen right when the final attack is made. The first dice is a repositioning. It's a single die roll, and it doesn't show you here on the tabletop simulator. You'll actually see the die rolls required. Thankfully, the Realmspeak handles it for you, but it's a single die roll that basically it's the monsters trying to reposition, like get out of your way or get in your way. It's like a maneuver that they're making, and to swing at you and to dodge you basically. And that first roll determines where they end up. So he may, like a roll of 4 would keep these in the same position, a roll of 5 would move them a certain way, a roll of 6 would move them a certain way. And that's how this position works here. And then we're going to try to do an attack, whether it's a thrust, a swing, or a smash. And these matter if we aren't able to undercut him. We have to line up. We have to be able to match his 5 speed. So if I did a 5 or worse, like if there was a 6, like a tremendous 6 or whatever, the 5 and the 6, the 5 matches my 5 attack speed at H matches his 5 speed, but it's not enough to undercut him. So it would a 5 or a 6 speed based on his getting out of my way, his movement speed, would require that I intercept, which means that reposition roll, wherever his body ends up, my sword has to be on that lane. So if he ends up here, my attack would need to be here. If his body moves here, my attack would have to be here. If he ends up here from that roll, my attack would have to be here. That's called intercept. It's basically a game of chance. It's like your capabilities are close enough that you're going to kind of be wildly swinging and not being able to, figuring out who hits who. It's kind of more chaotic kind of fighting because you're similarly matched. And what we're going to try to do is that's always a chance. Like it's always like a game of like guess. And your combat in Magic Realm, you don't want to plan around intercept. You deal with it because you do get in scenarios where you're not as fast as your enemies, and you're going to have to just try to figure out how to hopefully get an intercept. And it seems like random, like you're playing rock, paper, scissors, and when you first play it, it might make it seem less of an attractive game to you because you feel like it's more chance than strategy. But therein, as the designer meant, Richard Hamblin probably meant that he wants you to know your character well enough that you're planning around undercut, which is what we're doing. So I'm going to use the Tremendous 4, and I'll just put it here in the middle here. And then the other roll happens. So we're going to see a roll of 1 die to reposition him, and then there's another roll which is 2 dice to see if the character flips, which is called change tactics. And so now that we have the attack lane lined up here, and we've said, okay, we're going to beat him on speed with a 4 unless he flips. So no matter where he ends up, he gets hit, and hopefully we kill him and he doesn't have a chance to attack us back. So let's see. Next, bam, got him. So let's see what happens here. It brought us back to our own sheet for the result. I'm going to go here. Okay, it did switch. Switch box 1 and 2. That's the roll of 3. So it took the giant, put him here, and his swing it put him there. So he would have swung at me this way if I'd have had my maneuver here. Usually I line my maneuver up if we were on the other chart for the sake of him intercepting me, even if I'm faster. They can still hit you if you're faster than them, or you can hit them if they're faster than you, as long as it's an intercept if it's lined up. But usually I'll line up my maneuver with my attack so that if they do line up with me, I can hit them first if I beat them on length. So it worked out that our plan worked, and it's probably going to say intercept even though we could have undercut him because it's lining up with the attack. It's going to tell us in the round summary that we intercepted him. Yeah, W.Knight intercepted and killed the giant. Tremendous 4, heavy plus the star, which is tremendous, which you can see here the arrow saying what happened. Tremendous with a sharpness star, because this T, because it's a fight chit, will lift any weapon. All weapons can be lifted up 1 level of their harm by if the attack or if the fight chit that you're using to power the weapon is above the weapon's normal damage. And so, but you can only do that 1 level. So if this was a medium, it wouldn't have been able to raise it to tremendous. It would have just raised it to heavy, and then you would have been add the sharpness star and everything like that. But because everything's added up here, we get a tremendous plus a sharpness star. So this attack would have even beaten a monster that was tremendous armored. And we got that. And we can also look at the details here that show how the combat went. Battle resolving at the cliffs. Luring deploy alerts the great sword, which is what I did to get it to turn red, so I could use the speed of the chit instead of the weapon. Attacks the giant, becomes hit in position, reposition. Attacks are sorted by length first, then speed. Attack length 8, speed 4. W.Knight. Tremendous 4 hit versus giant, speed 5. Intercepted. If we had not lined up with intercepted, it still would have been an undercut, which is what we always want. Box 2 matches box 2. Initial harm, tremendous plus 1. Giant is hit with tremendous plus 1 harm, is killed. White gets 8 fame. And so there's our first combat of the game. Let's just keep doing this until hopefully these numbers start to make more sense to you. I might have to fatigue a chit now because I did use that tremendous 4, which is 2 asterisks, and so that's another explanation here. You can run 2 effort asterisks. That's what these little stars here are by the chits here, in case you didn't hear my explanation on the other tutorial. Every round of combat, and some characters have an extra stat that lets you use 3, or there's items that let you use 3 asterisks per combat round. You can use these ones without. Here's this H6, and here's another fight H6, a heavy 6. Like, you can swing with H6 and move out of the way with H6 with no effort. You could fight with an H5 and fight with a move 6, dodge with a move 6, and you won't have to fatigue even though you're using 1 asterisk. You only fatigue if you use 2 asterisks in 1 round. And we used 2 on the single tremendous thing, so we wouldn't have been able to really even move because we exerted so much force trying to swing tremendous at a 4 speed. That's like a really heavy, that's the W.Knight pushing himself as hard as he can, swinging that big sword, that big claymore that's in his image there, and whacking this giant, killing it. So let's go next, and it'll probably, because we use those 2 asterisks, it's going to ask us to fatigue something. Yeah, here we go. W.Knight fatigue chits. So fatigue 1 asterisk for using the 2. And I'm going to say I've got 2 H5s, so those are slower heavies, and I'm keeping my tremenduses available. So I'm going to fatigue 1 of my H5s and hit done. And that ends that first combat. And now it's moved us over here to automatically to the Berzerker and the Amazon. which have no fight, and I'm going to turn these off as you've seen in my previous one here. I don't want daily combat turned on. We're going to end this. Woods Girl doesn't have a attack to make. She's no monster. I'm going to turn off daily combat for her too. End the combat. So we only had the White Knight, and let's go through these here. Woods Girl, Berzerker, I'll turn off his daily combat. White Knight, turn that off. Amazon's off. Okay. So that was our first day. You can see that if we have multiple characters, the days go a little bit slower, but at least we'll get more combat opportunities. Alright, Amazon. Let's go look for monsters. I think that we can trade with them at the beginning. Now we're back in a fight with another giant. You'll see the same thing. I'm not going to lure him to me. Luring is basically if you have multiple characters and multiple monsters, you can make the character in the luring phase. I could click him and say, yeah, come to my sheet. You see it unhides me. It's basically me going, hey, over here, you know, and there you'll want to have, if you have like a fighter and another player, it's a magician, and another player that's like, you know, maybe the Woods Girl, the White Knight would definitely say to the giant, hey, come to me. Then those other two characters could shoot at the giant, but the giant would have the hardest time breaking the armor and killing the White Knight versus the other two characters, so you'd say, yeah, you'd want to lure him. In this case, because like last time, I don't want to lure him because I want to take a shot at him first. I'm going to leave myself hidden and go past the lure phase hidden. And then again, I'm going to alert. I'm going to use that no effort alert, that H6 to alert my great sword here, which is a great thing to do actually, because this is a great use of this heavy speed 6 chit, is to get that weapon alerted so that I can use it in the attack phase here. Next, we're going to select unassigned target. Now I'm taking a swing at him from hidden. Go to the denizen sheet, same as last time. I'm going to use that tremendous 4, and maybe if he moves you'll actually see the undercut happen, and you'll see that I'm beating him. That 4 at tremendous, bringing us up to tremendous plus, is going to undercut his 5 even if he moves. Let's see what happens next. Bam. Okay, here we go. Now you'll see that it's not an intercept. The intercept, we could have even done it with a slower. If we'd have lined up here, we did a 5 or a 6. Even though it's slower, if it's lined up, even if it's slower, it'll be an intercept. It'll be an intercept if it's faster, if it's on the same lane. But here we would have technically missed him, and it wouldn't have been an intercept, other than the fact that we beat him on speed. If you go down here, we'll see the White Knight undercut and killed the giant. So this is always how you want to play Magic Realm, whether you're doing magic or you're doing weapon combat. You want to plan to fight monsters that you can beat on speed, and if you can, fight from hidden, because again I'm using this double asterisks, which means I'm not going to be able to move very much, so I'm kind of like hiding maybe behind a tree or something, and he's coming by and I'm slicing out, so there's no maneuver I have to make. I'm just getting him by surprise. And I did swing and successfully hit him because I'm fast enough. And that kills the giant. And I'm going to go back to fatiguing one of my H5s. You've got this one's not usable because I used it to alert the weapon. And now I'm using, these are kind of like, they serve as both hit points and stamina. You know, it's like I'm fatiguing, and these things can get, when you get hurt, you have to move these from active over to wounded, and then you have to heal them back from wounded to fatigue and everything. So this is this system that Richard devised to have these kind of like strength with the letters and speed with the numbers, and the way that they become fatigued with the asterisks, combining single asterisks with other single asterisks, or just a really capable one, which is 2, and then having them fatigue because you're running your strength out, which is like your stamina, or having them, you're getting hit and they end up becoming like hit points and they're wounded. If all of these active go into wounded, you'll die. You can also just die if you get hit by a hit heavier than your vulnerability. If I'm hit with a tremendous weapon and it hurts, kills my armor, and I'm vulnerability heavy, the fact that it's 1 strength higher than my vulnerability, it won't matter the amount of chits. It will kill me instantly. Let's see here. So we'll fatigue H5, call it done, and end. We've successfully killed 2 giants. Now I've got this Woods Girl. I don't think I'm going to take these trolls on. I feel like I might be able to, if I got a good missile roll because of her accuracy. I might be able to. If I hit like a 1, this might be strong enough to beat heavy armored, but I don't know. So I'm going to end this combat, and I will check that out. and possibly just run next round. Or just get out of there because I'm hidden. I can just walk into this clearing without being blocked. Okay, next turn. I'll try to hide. I'm doing a hide first because if I wanted to move to this clearing, because it takes one move action, your first move action can be from hidden. You can move out of the way of monsters without being blocked. The second action and beyond, if you haven't left this and you're not hidden as your first action, you will get blocked by the monsters again. And so I'm trying to do a hide, so I can like hide and sneak away and get over here, and then I'll hide again and see if I'm successful. W.Knight, I've killed enough giants now. I've got an advancement, which you don't have to turn on, but because I've killed enough, I've got fame and 16 notoriety, 16 for the giants, because I think they're 8 each on their thing here, which is like this stuff you'll see here. It says like N12, G8. G8's for the hiring, and the 12 is for the notoriety. You need to hire them. I think here you got F0 and N2. That's notoriety 2 and fame 0, and the giants were 8 each, and so 8 fame, 8 notoriety. So the fact that I've killed 2 of them, I got 16 fame, 16 notoriety. Alrighty, okay, so advance, it's saying I've got extra gold because I've advanced up to level 5. I like using this. The game that as it came default wasn't built that way, but it was something Hamblin intended, and I believe that the creator here, which is the creator of Realmspeak, which is his BGG forum name is W.Knight, and I can't think of his name right off the bat. Let's see here. Jay Richardson, I think, is the person that made the Realmspeak. Might have helped add this development into the intended way that it was meant to, into Realmspeak, so I use it because it's a lot of fun. Alright, so let's move on here. We've got the W.Knight. Let's go see what's going on over here in the ledges, and we'll cross the bridge here. 1, 1, 2, hide, and I'll rest that chit back up. Berzerker, I am going to go to the horde. I'm going to try to find it. I'm going to try to hide. I don't think I've fatigued anything. Let's see what monsters show up for the Berzerker. I really want to use his Berserk feature. Trade with the Lancers to see what they have, and then I'm going to head down here, and I'm going to hide, and I'm going to try to take the ghosts on next round. Play, buy, what do you guys have? Power boots, pretty useful. Potion, a 1-use change of your speed, which is interesting. For one battle, you can change your speed depending on the asterisk. Effort S-stars can change the speed, which is neat. So any 2 effort 1 would become 2 speed. So that would actually benefit her. But I'm not going to buy those. Let's see, move to Pine Woods, Linden Woods, and then hide. And then we've got, see if she hides. If she doesn't hide on this first roll, she'll get blocked by the trolls. Alright, she's successful. Now I should be able to get over here. And I don't know why I put another hide, because if she didn't hide, she would have been canceled out. But nothing fatigued. Getting over the high pass is a fun. Imagine a character is going over this big mountain trying to get to the other side here. And she's finished with her daylight. And let's go to the Berzerker. He's going to use 2 moves to get up the mountain a little bit. And then we're going to search for the horde. Oh, I think that's a roll of 1, which means I get to choose, and I am going to discover it. So now, yeah. Wow, Snake Eyes, that's such a rare one to get with 2 dice. So I found the horde, so I'd be able to start looting it. And the horde brings a big dragon, which is perfect. I think it's perfect. Let me check the setup chart here. This is like the... If you guys watched the first video, the really long one, I show the setup card. We're going to check to see what the horde brings here. Yeah, the horde brings a tremendous flying dragon here, and it has lots of big treasures. And it is tremendous armored, which was, it's fast too. It's got a 4. This guy could actually really ruin the Berzerker's day. He might die in a battle with this guy. Let's see what we can do though. Hopefully he doesn't show up. We'll get some loot here and go back and sell it. Try to hide. I'm successfully hidden. So roll a 6, so that's usually bats. I'm trying to remember if bats show up on bones. bats come with the bones. There's bones all over the mountain, implying some monster eating up something, since there's bones everywhere. Hit done. It's Knight's daylight cycle. Let's move to cliff 2, move to ledges 2. Kind of can see probably a nice view up there. Hide, didn't hide successfully. Rest my chit. We'll see what shows up here. Done. Giant bats. Uh-oh. This is the bane of the White Knight. This might be the White Knight's demise here, because these guys are hard to hit because they're fast. They're heavy, which we can kill, but their attack at medium 2, even though it won't hurt me that much, it can slowly whittle away my chits until I'm dead. So this might be his last battle of the game here. Let's see if we get lucky on intercept, because we cannot undercut these bats at a speed of 3. We are basically going to be swinging wildly at these bats coming down at us from the air. I can't even alert because I don't have a fast enough weapon. They're going to be able to glide down. I'm just kind of being caught off guard here and flailing. Next, assign targets. Doesn't matter which one at this point. We're just going to see if we get lucky here. Now, they're on my chart, unlike what we've done already. They're now being able to attack me, so I have to make a maneuver here. Because of their 2 speed, no matter what place I put my maneuver, they're so fast that they're going to undercut me no matter where I am. So I'm going to probably get 2 hits per round, which is going to whittle me down. This is a classic, by the way. If you're new to Magic Realm, it is very common for people to pick a big heavy character like the White Knight, and it is very common for the White Knight to encounter bats and for people to get killed as the White Knight with the bats and be discouraged from playing Magic Realm because it just seems like an absurd situation. But it is one of the play balance things that is just the way Magic Realm is, and we'll see what we can do here. I've got him lined up here, so we have to we're going to try to make an intercept, and the thing is, I've targeted this one. I can't, my weapon can't just line up with this one and kill it, because I'm putting my attention on this guy, so I'm swinging at him, so there's no chance I'm going to kill him just because he's like in the right position, because I'm looking and focusing on him. So I'm going to put a move here. I'm going to use this one with no effort because I don't want to use effort if possible, and it won't matter. And this is the most important thing. It doesn't matter whether I choose this 8 heavy 4, which has got 2 asterisks, because this 2 speed, this medium damage at 2 speed on both of them, and they might flip and it might even get worse. This is hitting me no matter what. So at this point, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to manage the amount of effort that I'm using. We're going to use the least amount of effort. So this is 0 stars because it's undercut no matter which one of these you use. And so I'm basically trying to minimize the amount of effort that I'm going to put into it. And I'm going to hope that this guy positions here. So I'm going to swing at him, and I'm going to swing at him with a 6, because all these are faster. It doesn't matter if I use the H4 or the T4, because all of these will equally kill the bats because it's already at a heavy with a star by default, and it's a 6 speed. And so there's no way to beat him on speed, either for me dodging or me attacking. And so the best hope I have is that I use the least effort in the move and the least effort in the attack. And if I'm lucky, which is what this is because you don't plan on fighting bats with the White Knight, if I'm lucky, this bat will end up in this box and I will intercept him. Otherwise, I'm just going to get hit twice. And I might get hit twice even though I'm just going to get hit twice if I don't intercept him. So let's see what happens next. Thud. I got lucky. Okay. I got hit. It's only a medium hit. It didn't damage my armor because it's only a medium hit. But it's still, the thump of it hurts me 1. So I've got 1 damaging. That's what signifies here. You see this little number on your character here showing you got hit for 1 damage. So I'm going to have to probably wound 1 chit. But the good news is that at least I intercepted. Let's go look at the round summary. White Knight intercepted and killed a giant bat. I swung with a heavy 6. It was very slow. Heavy plus that sharpness star from the sword will make a tremendous hit, which is above the H vulnerability, which like kills the bat. And then the other giant bat, his attack was canceled because I beat him. I got a higher reach. He has to bring his body to me. That's 0. So he has no reach. He has to be right up on me to bite me or scratch me or whatever. But I have this reach with this weapon, and which was an 8. So he gets stabbed before he even gets close enough to me. So that's why it cancels his attack. And then the giant bat undercut, but did not kill the White Knight. So he was able to hit me with an M. It's probably not. It's not penetrating my armor, didn't damage my armor, but it's a heavy enough hit at medium that it still damaged me a little bit. So we go next. We have to fatigue. Let's wound 1. Yeah, so it got wounded. It wasn't even fatigued. So I'm gonna try. What's the one that I need the least here? I guess we'll do this H5, so I can still use this to alert if I need to. Alright, now we start over. Now it's round 2. We got lucky that time, which means we might survive this, because I think one-on-one bat is a lot better. So I'm going to alert. I can't because I'm not hidden. So basically, again, I'm going to just try to swing at this guy. Take a swing, put him in the first box. I'll guess that he ends up down here. Since he jumped here last time, end up down here. I'm going to put my H6 again, because I just don't want to fatigue these guys if at all possible, because he's going to be wounding them. And I got lucky. Okay, he hit me again, but yeah, he ended up down here. These are lucky guesses, you know. I mean, I've seen patterns in Realm Speak, but I got really lucky with this. Usually 2 bats will kill me, or it's a very slow, painful thing, but you guys got to see me be victorious. After lots of experience with the White Knight and fighting off bats, I went with this general pattern that I'm used to. And this is not the way you want to battle. This is very lucky interception, which is always a chance. It's a game of chance when you get into the intercept game versus the undercut game, where you know you can guarantee a hit. And those are the 2 main strategies you get into with Magic Realm. Okay, let's next. We got lucky. We'll wound that chit, and we're going to have to prepare. And we'll end, and he lives to fight another day. Here is the... there's a giant bat with the Berzerker now. And I feel like I want to take a swing at this guy when he can't swing at me, but I don't have any way to guarantee. Yeah, his M3, the 3's way faster than my 4's. I don't have anything at a 3 speed, which would still be an intercept. I'd need a 2 to beat this guy on his movement speed. But I do get 1 swing at him, and I feel like if maybe I can alert my Tremendous. Let's see up here. If I alert it, this is going Berzerker, and you'll see that this goes to Tremendous. So I'll alert this guy, hit next. I become Tremendous. Now I can take serious hits here. So maybe his M speed won't be able to really kill me at Tremendous. Let me see what kind of damage I can do here. I got a medium helmet, which his strength can't even break. He can break my helmet here, but let's just see if I get that. If I can get a swing at him here. I'll try to. Actually, I'll do the smash down and duck here and see if I intercept him here. Nope. Oh, he stayed. He didn't position. So the reposition roll kept him in the same place. Now he's going to be able to hit me back. So that was my free shot. I have to fatigue something because I used the thing here. This is where I get into some trouble here. I use my T6. Got a lot of tremendous hits from this guy. This is just not his. This isn't his ideal battle, but I just thought I'd take a risk here. Do I need to even alert? No, I can't alert because I'm not fast enough. Just going to hit him, and we're going to just swing away. Got basically a tremendous axe because it's H heavy hit with a sharpness star. I'm going to use this no asterisk one because everything is an intercept anyway, and I'm going to try to duck under my medium here. All right. So you can see here he didn't move again because he's beating me on undercut with this 2. Even though he's not in my lane, he's fast enough that he still was able to hit me for 1 hit. So I will take that. T5 down. Keep trying here. We want to get in fights where we know we can take them out with undercut. Let's see here. You go here. H6. Come on. Nope. Didn't move again. Switch boxes 2 and 3. So he's just whittling away at me here. and I'm hoping that I intercept him. Now he's flipped, so his attack speed's a little slower, but he's faster. So he's faster. He's harder for me to hit. He's got the same level of attack, medium, but it's just a little bit slower. So the flipping the bat isn't changing your world that much. Let's see if I can get him with this one more time here. H6. There we go. He ends up in the middle box. I have intercepted him. He still got me because of his speed. Was able to beat mine, so he still got me. But at least I live. Giant Bat Undercut did not kill with a medium hit. And the Berzerker intercepted. H plus the star is tremendous. Beats his H. If you equal their harm level, H with H, that'll kill him too if it's the same level. Alright, we live, and not too bad. I got hit a few times. Bat hurt me a few times, but we live to see another day. And I can probably start looting that horde. Got some wounds. Let's see here. Alright, Amazon turn. Hide succeed. Hide not available. Alert this sword so it's ready to go. Let's go fight a couple of ghosts here and see how we do. And the Berzerker. I'm going to press play all so we can go through the 3 searches really fast, and then it'll do these. It'll let me click through these really quick. That'll hide whether, on its own based on the die roll, and then it'll ask me to rest. So I'll just play all. Loot the horde. I'm going to get a bunch of stuff here. He's got a bunch of he can carry heavy stuff too. So 9 left means I'm going to guarantee that I get something because they roll 2 dice to loot. Some characters roll 1, and the card, whatever the highest number on the 2 dice, that number is the number from the bottom that you get to take. So I'm going to take 1 through 6 out of these 9. So let's do this. Map of Ruins was a 6 card. Roll again. Here we go. He found the Sacred Grail. Now this is a great item for the White Knight because not only is it a great treasure, the Order will give you 50 for it. They also will pay a lot for it in gold. But this says white, which is and you can see here, this object emits color magic and can energize spells. What do you want to do? So now, if I gave this to the White Knight, you're combining this that has white magic in it with his type 1 5-speed magic. This item given to the White Knight will allow him to cast that make whole spell every day. So he could be in combat and get really wounded and then just use this because this is a source of white magic with his magic chit once, and it would repair all of his things. So this is a great item that I should go and give to the White Knight. So let's take this guy. And so got Map of Ruins, Sacred Grail. Let's loot the horde some more. Didn't find anything. Oh, we found the Black Book. That's great for magic users. The type 5 black magic has probably 4 black magic type 5 spells in it. Let's see, we're going to rest 1 asterisk here from the Berzerker. Which one do we want? Fight those guys. I'm going to stay hidden. These guys I'm going to definitely attack here. I've already got an alert weapon, so we don't have to worry about that. I'm going to select this guy, and we're going to cut him down with, let's see here. So if you understand, what do we need here? We can definitely medium damage him here with any of these because it's light plus a sharpness star is M, so we can kill him with any of these hits. Raising that L up to an M with any of these M's. The H will raise that to an M, so this is basically heavy on any of these except for that one. And we have to, in order to ensure that we beat him on speed unless he flips, we need a 3 or less, and she has 1, or she has 2 M3 fight chits, so I guess I'll take this one, and let's just see if it flips. And if it flips, will it be faster? Yeah, it could flip, and I would have to intercept it, but I'm hoping it doesn't flip and we kill it. Ta-da! It changed position, but it didn't flip, and so that 3 beats the 4 speed. So if we look, it should say undercut. Amazon undercut and killed the ghost, and that's a heavy hit there. Medium strength with that sharpness star is an H. We can check it in the details also. Ghost is hit, medium +1 harm along box 1, and it's the undercut because we're faster. And that's a proper way to plan it. Lands, move into the caves. Oh, brought the Serpents. These guys are both heavy armored, and this could be bad for me, but let's see here. Next, the good news is I have make whole because there's white and black magic everywhere on the 7th day of the week. So I actually can heal myself with this one time. So let's see how far I get and see if I can cast a spell. You'll actually see magic used for the first time. Okay, next. I want to alert my weapon. I can't, so I'm going to have to just swing at him at a speed of 6. You know, we're all on the same sheet. I didn't get the drop on them. They got the drop on me, actually. And we want to hit him as hard as we can here. Tremendous. And they're definitely both going to hit me here. Hopefully we get lucky. Alright, I got lucky. The one I targeted ended up in the... moved down to the right. They both moved down. And the one I targeted was up here. Moved into the right position, so I killed him. This one at its medium thumped against my armor and didn't damage the armor, but it did give me a single, basically a you know, a good whack. Got really lucky here. Let's see. Let's get rid of my H5 chits here so I can keep the effort low. Try to go through the same thing. I may not have to cast my heal spell at all. Actually, let's do. Let's try to do it so it doesn't change. H6. I'm planning on it not moving this time. Oh, I was thinking this and then I didn't. I should have moved it down there. Hit again. Okay, where's this? We might actually pull my spell out here. Let's see. Heavy 5. Try to let's see, get him in the first box or the second box. Let's see if I can get him in the second box here. No, there it was. So you can see this is intercept. This is why intercept isn't the best strategy, because you could be guessing and getting slowly killed. That's why you plan around undercut. And honestly, with my knight, now that I have the gold, the 25 gold, I should go get that M3 fight, which would take less effort and still have the heavy, you know, weapon heavy with a star to kill this guy. So it would behoove me to go get that M3 attack glove up at the rogues at the end to buy that from him now. Let's see if we wound one more. Okay, I guess I'll give up a T5. Yeah. I'm going to go one more round and then I'm going to try to heal myself because it's starting to whittle me down here. Alright. H6. H6. Flipped. Oh, he flipped, so now he's got a slower attack, but it's bigger. This is a harder attack, and then we got 4. Now I'm going to try to cast the spell here. We'll try to get some of this stuff back. H4. Alright, let's cast the spell. Oh, I don't have no spell casting options for me. Interesting. I should be able to cast this. It must be the speed. Oh, it's because, yeah, here's the problem. This is why I can't cast a spell right now. Because it's this 5 speed, and so I believe that the speed of the magic chit is too slow versus his attack, so I don't have time to use the spell. So we're going to just whack away at it again. And hopefully got it. Okay, but here's the sad thing is that I got it, but because his speed H5 is faster than my 6, he's able to hit me first and damage, not only damaged my armor but totally destroyed it, so now I have to go find some armor. Next, wound 1 chit. Here we go. But what's interesting now, okay, so here now you can finally see the spell. So I've got, look at all this damage here. These are wounded. These wouldn't jump right from wounded into like usable. These asterisk ones have to go to fatigued.
But because there's no monster, I don't have to worry about the speed of the spell, so I should be able to just cast a spell. So here you're watching magic for the first time. I've got this white magic that's just everywhere during today. It's in the hold on before I do that. Every 7th day there's a different color magic. It worked out that the 7th day there's black and white magic, and so we get to cast the spell. The way the spell works is that you combine it. You combine a type, which is this type 1, which is the white magic, and this has to be combined with the type of magic with the color magic. And so if we look at our spell, it requires the type 1 magic with white, so we have both ingredients that are needed, and we're going to cast that. What are, it's saying, okay, you've got the white magic, but what are you using to cast it with? And it's that type 1, that's speed 5, 2 effort. Hit next, spell targets, target myself, and now if we watch, it should do some serious magic. And now I am completely repaired, except for my magic is now fatigued, which I will take care of next round. But what a really cool situation. You can imagine now, that was lucky because we weren't at the chapel and we had a white color magic everywhere for the day 7. We combined those two to actually cast that spell. So you can understand now, if I get that grail, the sacred grail from the Berzerker, I always have white magic, and as long as this is not fatigued, I can probably cast that once per day, which gives me basically double the amount of chits, to use some up and then get halfway in a fight and then charge them back up again. So now he could become a real tank. Those characters are gone. All right, let's see here. Here's the fight we were trying to get to here, which is the Woods Girl ambushing the Vipers, and let's see if we can get them with the missile rolls here. Alert. We have alerted bows. Okay, so we're going to try to snipe them. I'm going to select a target. We're hidden. We're going to roll 1 die because we're in the woods, and she gets 1 die hide, which also is the same roll for ambush. So I've targeted it, but I don't reveal myself like when you normally target something on another sheet. I can actually try to stay hidden. This is ambush. So let's see if she pulls it off. Next. I'm discovered. The one time I don't want a 6, but at least I get a shot at it. So let's see here. We're just hoping for a good missile roll at this point, and that is not the number I want. I want a 3. Yeah, I want to undercut it for sure. Now we got to see if the missile roll is 3 or less. Got it. Wow. Oh, I got a 1. So I sniped it. I got the best roll you can get, which is increasing the damage of the arrow by 2. So it was a critical hit. Just a good shot, or the speed was at the length. It's like the narrative is like, again, this is why it's important for undercut, is I got the speed of 3 against its 4s, and so even though it didn't line up, the undercut saves the day. But now, even though I've done that, this guy gets to try to kill me again, and what I would do in most cases, I would go, okay, let's try to run out of this, because I don't like the idea that it gets a shot at me. I'm a light character with no armor, so any hit that it makes is going to kill me. There's no wounding chits here. This is just an instant death, so I'm going to run away. Thankfully, with this 4 speed, I've got options here. I'm going to try to run away with the least amount of effort, and we get out of it. And that's the Woods Girl fighting. And hopefully, from this video, you've gotten a general understanding of how those numbers and letters work on the chits, how they act as both stamina and capability, speed and strength. How the vulnerability, these numbers up here, these letters up in the upper right are their ability to defend, the numbers in the lower right, their ability to dodge, the numbers in the lower left, their ability to attack, and the strength of their attack. And then you have this 0, or these numbers in the middle with the parentheses that show you their reach value. How long is the weapon? And there's a pile of dead things right there from those demons. I don't know if I have that in the edit or not. Let's see here. And hopefully that gives you a good sense of combat. That was the goal of this video. And the next video will be about magic users and using magic. And we'll do a playthrough with the sorcerer or the wizard. Alright, I'll see you again soon.